Hey friends, welcome back to Grand Adventure. I'm your host, Mark Guido, and welcome back to the American Heartland Tour 2020, which this week has taken us to Aberdeen, South Dakota. Now we're here for a very deeply personal reason that we will explain to you throughout the course of this episode. But in the process of coming here, I think we found the best campground ever for kids. So stay tuned. It's October 25th, 1999. In northeastern North Dakota, farmer John Hoffman is hosting a group of Texas pheasant hunters on his sprawling 12,000-acre farm. At the same time, in Sanford, Florida, a Learjet taxis out to the runway, preparing for takeoff. As unlikely as it may seem to Mr. Hoffman, their paths will cross on this fateful day. The jet lifts off from the runway and climbs steeply over the Central Florida Peninsula. So steeply, in fact, that by the time the plane's crew realizes that they've lost cabin pressure, all on board have passed out from hypoxia. The Learjet continues on autopilot on a north-northwesterly trajectory with no one at the helm. By the time it reaches North Dakota, it runs out of fuel and plummets into a crater on John Hoffman's farmland. All on board perish in the crash. Many may recall this incident due to the fame of one of the plane's passengers, professional golfer Payne Stewart. But we vividly remember the crash due to co-pilot Stephanie Melgaard, one of Patricia's closest friends. Now, more than 20 years later, Patricia still grieves for the loss of her friend Stephanie. Once she realized that our American Heartland Tour 2020 would bring us across the northern plains, she was understandably insistent that we visit the site of Stephanie's crash. We located John via the internet, and he graciously agreed to bring us to the marker in the middle of his farmland where the gigantic hole from the plane's impact has since been filled. We met John and his wife Carla along the roadside, and they led us in their truck to the site, where Patricia was able to lay flowers in Stephanie's memory at the memorial.
You put them wherever you want. Where was Stephanie from?
El Salvador.
El Salvador.
Yeah, Orlando.
Right, but she was originally from El Salvador.
From some other country.
She was only 27.
She was accomplished, a young girl at that age, wasn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't stand out very much. Something natural to the area. They didn't want a big mark or anything like that. So what we did is we tried to find this rock. And you know where we found this rock? Right from the grave. When they dug it out, there was a rock on the side. They had those big track hoes in there digging. They dug it out and they left this rock to the side. And we said, oh my God. We said, that's a perfect rock. They had to shave the front, obviously. It was kind of like this tree is exactly where that tree grew after they took all the soil out of there. They looked for plane parts and people's personal effects. They dug it all out about 2 weeks after the crash. They redug that hole.
So that's why we're here in Aberdeen. I think it gave Patricia some closure after 21 years, so in that sense, this has been a very fruitful visit here to Aberdeen. Now, like I said, in the process, we may have found the best campground for kids ever. We're in a municipal park called Wylie Park. It's operated by the town of Aberdeen. It's about a 200-acre park. It is beautiful. It is lush. It is green. They have a substantial full hookup campground here. And once we show you the campground, I want to show you some of the amenities in this park. It's really quite remarkable. We know that these campground cabins usually come with a bunch of amenities, but we're not sure that these prairie dogs burrowing beneath the foundation are supposed to be one of them. Campgrounds with playgrounds are a dime a dozen. But what sets Wylie Park apart is its sprawling storybook land and the Land of Oz. It's a wonderland for kids both big and small. And best of all, admission is free. Optional tickets are required only for a handful of amusement rides within the park. Wizard of Oz author L. Frank Baum lived in Aberdeen, and the book's depiction of Kansas is based upon his experiences in drought-ridden South Dakota. So it's only fitting that Aberdeen added a Land of Oz section to its storybook land at Wylie Park. Back at camp, our neighbor Mark brought along his lovingly restored 1946 Jeep CJ2A.
And it's 91,000 miles. That's original miles.
No kidding.
Yep.
Do you have any records of it? Do you know if it was ever deployed anywhere?
No, this is not military.
Oh.
Painting, and I tried painting, and I even got the flat spots to run. So, but I'm an old mechanic for 10 years, and I've been in sales. Pontiac dealer. And I remember seeing it when I was a kid. And my brother, 7-year older brother than me, he had one.
Well, the new ones aren't either.
No, they aren't.
I have a friend of mine with a Rubicon, and takes it about a month to get up to 60. I even got to go for a spin. Although they have the swimming beach on Wylie Lake, one thing noticeably missing at Wylie Park is a swimming pool. The town of Aberdeen has made up for that with a substantial aquatic center located just a few miles across town. Like many towns of the Midwest, Aberdeen was built around the newly developing railroad systems. Aberdeen was first officially plotted as a town site in 1881 by Charles Pryor, the superintendent of the Milwaukee Railroad. The railroad was presided over by Alexander Mitchell, who was born in Aberdeen, Scotland, leading to the new town's name. Aberdeen was officially founded on July 6, 1881. The date of the first arrival of a Milwaukee Railroad train. Aberdeen had 4 different railroad companies with depots built in the newly developing town. With these 4 railroads intersecting here, Aberdeen soon became known as the hub city of the Dakotas. These 4 railroad companies are the reason why Aberdeen was able to grow and flourish as it did. The only railroad still running through Aberdeen is the Burlington Northern Santa Fe. Once again, we've heard great things about the Dakota Prairie Museum, and once again, it will have to wait until after COVID-19. Wylie Park isn't the only municipally operated town park campground in Aberdeen. Melgaard Park on the town's south side offers quieter camping with a handful of water and electric RV sites and tent sites. But it's west of Aberdeen where we found the region's true camping gem. When we first planned to visit Aberdeen, we planned to camp at Mina, or Mina State Recreation Area. We're not sure which pronunciation is correct, but it was booked solid. Visiting this beautiful waterfront campground on Mina Lake showed us why. So that's going to do it for this episode of Grand Adventure. We really hope you've enjoyed coming along with us to Aberdeen. Next week, we're going to be down in the southeastern corner of South Dakota in a place called Vermilion. So if you're not yet a Grand Adventurer, now is the perfect time. Go smash that little red subscribe button down there in the corner and ring that notification bell to make sure that you come along on all of our Grand Adventures, especially this summer with the American Heartland Tour 2020. Now, if you have friends, family, social media friends who you think would enjoy episodes of Grand Adventure, please share the channel with them. Now, it's extremely important to us down below. Give us a big thumbs up if you like this video. And also down below, you'll find the comment section where we always love to hear from you after each and every episode of Grand Adventure. So until next week, please remember, life is nothing but a grand adventure. We'll see you soon.